All right, guys. So as you know, the 8th Club Festival is coming out later this month on the 20th through the 27th. And if you don't know about Club Festival, you are going to want like decent AoE units, damage units, healing units. Specific memories are always like important. This is quite literally the best endgame content we have in the game, and it only happens every once in a while. And so hopefully you are prepared, because the highest scoring accounts are going to be the accounts that have the best built characters and the best built memories. So yes, people who spend do have a little bit of an advantage here, but free-to-play players still can get very high scores, especially if you have a good club that you're working with that help you build teams and stuff like that. So today I'm going to go over the best int and destruction type characters to potentially use in the Club Festival that's coming up. Now, I don't know these characters for a fact are going to be the best, because sometimes there's like sleeper characters or characters you wouldn't expect that end up being really good, but I'll try to go over the ones that I think are going to be pretty useful for you and ones that I think you should be focusing on building if you don't already have them built. So with that said, we're going to start with the green type characters. So AoE attacks typically are king in Club Festival, and then also healers are really important. That being said, a lot of things have changed in the game recently, and AoE isn't necessarily going to be the best, and it isn't necessarily going to get you a high score if you have like squishy units, right? So like in some people's cases, Mirko here could be really good because she's a high damage output character with really good tanking. And so if you're a free to play or light spender, this character could be like a godsend for you. This could literally be the character that potentially carries you through at least clearing the content if you're struggling with clearing it. But if you're looking to score high, she's probably not going to be a high scoring character. So high scoring characters, who would I expect those to be in the green category? I would probably say Aizawa. Like 100% Aizawa is going to be there. There's no doubt. That's guaranteed. He is going to be one of your best choices for support because he gives the piercing shot. He is going to be able to heal. He's just a really good character. So you definitely want to work on Aizawa, Steampunk Aizawa. If you have him, he's very good. I would say Getten has a high likelihood to be there as well with his AoE, with his freeze, frostbite, all the stuff that he offers to the team. A lot of utility. He's hard to kill. Very good character as well. Would recommend him. I don't know about characters like Phosphor, Todoroki, because they have tranquility. Maybe there's a day where tranquility matters, but like eliminating the critical hit from your allies is never really a great thing in this mode. And like Fo 100% Deku is good in PvP, right? But he's a single target attack, so I wouldn't say he's going to be super great here either. Celebration Bakugo has always been very good at every Club Festival up to this point. So far, doesn't matter the typing, he's been used. Like, just straight up, he is going to be one of your best choices. Then we have the new Toru. Toru is going to be one of your best green support options, I think. She's going to be the 50% power on her skill 2 is insanely broken, and I think that's going to be a key factor in this Club Festival. So I would definitely, if you are able to get this Toru, get her, because I think she's going to be pretty good for this. Kaminari might be useful. He does have one AoE, he has the paralysis and stuff like that. Like he will be good for people that are just trying to clear content, right? But in terms of high scoring, I don't think he's going to be a great high scorer. But if you're one of those people who's thinking you just need to clear content and you happen to have this character, he will definitely let you do that. So you could invest in him for that purpose. Toga is one of the other new characters here. Toga doesn't really have AoEs, but she does have the extra normal attack hits and the bleed and stuff like that. She could, but she's kind of one of those characters in my mind that is a little bit of a sleeper unit. I think she could potentially be pretty good. Compress has always been good for the bind and the AoE. Damage isn't like, it's decent, but it's not the greatest. He does have a skill that doesn't do any damage, so he's a decent support, but I feel like now the better support is probably going to be Toru. Like, you'll probably be choosing Toru over Compress, but I guess we'll have to see when the game comes out. But I would say he's a decent one to invest in because there's a good chance he gets used. Green Dabi, I mean, he's one of those weird characters. Like, he has the ability to just plus ultra all the time, right? But it kind of throws off your skill chain, so he's kind of a sleeper as well. All Might, another kind of sleeper unit. He could be decent. He does AoE damage, not really multi-hits though, so it's okay. But the rest of these units that I didn't mention, I would say you're probably not going to be using all too much. Maybe Sue, maybe in some like circumstance somewhere you might use her. She does have the sweeping AoE. Then the multi-hit single target attack, she's just kind of fallen off recently, but I could see some people maybe potentially using her. But like, you realistically won't be using this Bakugo, you won't be using this Bakugo, you won't be probably using Jiro. You're probably not going to be using the present Mike or Hawks, most likely. Shinso, almost definitely not going to get used. Nijiri, definitely not going to get used. Ida, not going to get used. Like, both these Todoroki's probably not going to get used. But both these Deku's not getting used. This guy, maybe, but I doubt it. Like, yeah. That's pretty much all the characters I would focus on there. So once again, just to reiterate, like the top priority ones, I think your top 3, I would say definitely Aizawa. He's going to be really good. And then besides Aizawa, I would probably say Bakugo is number 2. I'd say number 1, number 2, and then honestly, number 3, it's kind of probably tied between like Toru and Getten. I'd say in terms of like characters that are going to be able to help you in this club festival for green characters. Now, as for destruction type characters, let's talk about them really quickly. So, Redestro, another one of those characters who can just help you clear content. He can do decent damage. He might actually be decent. Thinking about it, he does have that AoE that can do quite a bit of damage, you know. Redestro is a definite maybe. He's one of those sleeper units as well. He's an okay unit. He might be worth investing in a little bit, but the thing about Redestro is he is a climax battle unit. You can only invest in him to a certain degree as far as you've, gotten your climax battle units. All Might is one of those units, the new Armored All Might. I think he could be really good. Yes, he's single target attack, but the revenge is freaking insane. So it just depends like what stage you're taking on and how good he can be, but I think he could potentially just go crazy. He could also be really bad. I don't know. We'll have to see, but so far I've been very impressed with this Armored All Might, so I'd keep him in the back of your mind as an option. I think he's pretty good. Yairozu, always a staple unit, Celebration Momo. I would definitely work on her. She's probably one of the top 3 units you're going to want to work on. She's going to be helpful. This Todoroki is pretty useful with his block. He can still do decent AoE damage and normal damage as well. So definitely a good option. I wouldn't say top 3, but a decent option to work on. Tokoyami is an okay option to work on. I wouldn't say as good as like Todoroki, but Tokoyami does have Piercing Shot. If you use him in a 3rd successfully executed skill chain, he does have an AoE. He can be pretty decent overall. Out of the rest of these characters, honestly, none of them really stand out to me too much. I mean, this Uraraka as a support could be a decent support. I don't know that she's going to be like your top support, but a decent support nonetheless. Who else in here has like... It's not a whole lot of AoE characters, to be honest. Like, I feel like Celebration Bakugo is going to be a main unit for a lot of people. Like, yeah, Fantasy Bakugo here has an AoE, but it's only a single hit AoE attack. It's not going to be able to do like big damage numbers. So like multi-hit AoE attacks are where it's at. And if you don't have AoE, then you want multi-hit attacks. So just things to consider. Hawks is definitely going to be good for survivability. He's going to be good for the AoE damage to a degree. So like if I had to pick top 3 out of the destruction type units, I'm probably choosing Yayurozu as like my number 1 pick. And then it's hard to say. I guess because Hawks is consistent, I'll say Hawks is number 2. Hawks is a pretty consistently decent choice. And then number 3 might be tied between like 3 characters, maybe like Todoroki, All Might, and Redestro in terms of like usefulness. But then like some of these other characters aren't going to be super useful. Like this All For One's definitely not going to be used. This one maybe, but I doubt it. Dabi's probably not going to be super useful. All of these guys, literally almost the whole top row. Almost the whole top row is not going to be... This Bakugo, maybe for defensive capabilities, he'll be good for just letting you clear stuff, but for high scoring, nah, probably not. Her maybe could be useful in high scoring, like just giving you extra health and stuff like that. But yeah, it seems like the green characters are going to be the better way to go this time around. I guess we'll just have to wait to see until Club Festival comes out. But those are my thoughts. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree, if there's any other characters you think people should be working on right now down in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. And thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. Peace.